Surrender may be quite a popular word but not the practice. Yet the tremendous power of surrender holds the key to effortless manifestation. It holds transformative power that changes everything. You have got to pay the price of letting go to let life in. Welcome to Mind Elevate. Our channel has one core mission, and that is to help you rise to your higher self with our daily dose of mind-uplifting content, affirmations, and other empowering resources, not just positive words but life-transforming. So please subscribe to stay in tune. Let's get back to today's video. Have you ever hit that wall? Where you give everything you've got, your time, your energy, your passion, into building something. A dream, a relationship, a business. You push, you strive, you sacrifice. But instead of progress, you feel burnt out, defeated, stuck in a cycle of frustration. You pray for a breakthrough, but it never seems to arrive. Then, in a moment of exasperation, you let go. You throw your hands in the air and say, "I've had enough." And strangely, that's when something shifts. Suddenly, doors you couldn't open before begin to unlock. The fog lifts. Opportunities show up seemingly out of nowhere. You didn't try harder, you released control. And somehow, everything begins to align. This is the quiet miracle of surrender. It seems counterintuitive, even absurd in a world that praises hustle and domination. But surrender isn't weakness. It's wisdom. And it's been echoed through the ages, whispered by ancient teachers, lived by those who understand the deeper rhythm of life. Let's spot on the illusion of control. From a young age, we're taught that effort equals reward. Push harder. Never quit. Grind until it happens. And to some degree, yes, effort matters. But there's a deeper truth we often miss. Control is an illusion. We cling to the idea that if we manage every detail, we can shape the outcome. That if we worry enough, plan enough, force enough, we'll guarantee success. But life doesn't respond to force the way we think it will. In fact, the more we try to micromanage every outcome, the more resistance we create. Think about the times you've obsessed over making something happen. Whether it was fixing a relationship, landing a job, or solving a personal issue, you poured in everything. And yet, the harder you tried, the more elusive the solution became. That's because excessive control creates emotional tension. It clouds your intuition. It disconnects you from the natural flow of life. Life isn't a mechanical system where input guarantees output. It's fluid, dynamic, and full of mystery. When we attempt to dominate it, we often find ourselves stressed, anxious, and exhausted, further from our goals than when we started. But here's the paradox. When we stop forcing outcomes, things begin to unfold. Surrender creates space. It allows clarity to rise. When you're no longer obsessed with making it happen, your mind relaxes. Your heart opens. You begin to see new paths you missed before. Surrender doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop clinging. You continue to show up, but with peace rather than panic. With trust rather than tension. You move with the rhythm of life instead of pushing against it. Now, what is the art of surrender? What does it really mean to surrender? In a world that rewards control and celebrates dominance, surrender can sound like defeat. But true surrender is not passive. It's not giving up or abandoning your dreams. It's a conscious choice to stop fighting life and start flowing with it. Surrender is the courageous act of loosening your grip on how you think things must go. It's the wisdom of realizing that there's a greater intelligence guiding this world, something beyond your logic and effort. We often hold on tightly to our plans. We're convinced that we know what's best and that if we just do more, try harder, worry longer, it'll work. But that rigidity can be our downfall. It creates resistance, anxiety, and exhaustion. Surrender invites you to soften. To trust that you don't have to do it all alone. To believe that life has a rhythm and a timing far more intelligent than anything we could design. This isn't a new idea. Ancient philosophies have long recognized the power of surrender. In Taoism, there's the concept of wu wei, or non-doing. It doesn't mean inactivity. It means effortless action, moving with the current instead of against it. Like a river, life flows toward what's natural and true. When we resist, we drown in exhaustion. When we align, we're carried effortlessly to our destination. Hindu philosophy speaks of Ishvara Pranadhana, the surrender to a higher power. It's a form of devotion and trust in divine guidance. In this space, you acknowledge that you don't need to control everything because you are already supported by something greater than yourself. The modern world calls it manifestation, alignment, or flow state. Whatever you call it, the truth is the same. When you stop resisting, you begin to receive. Letting go isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Too often we mistake surrender for laziness or failure. We think letting go means we've lost. But in reality, it takes more strength to surrender than it does to control. Letting go is an act of faith. It requires courage to trust in what you cannot yet see. When you surrender, you're not stepping back in fear, you're stepping aside in trust. You're allowing the intelligence of life to co-create with you. You're acknowledging that your timeline may not be the best one, that your plan may not be the perfect one, and that's okay. Surrender allows you to breathe again. It lets your nervous system relax. It reconnects you with joy, peace, and presence. And from that space, you're actually more creative, more magnetic, more intuitive. This is not a philosophy for the faint-hearted. It takes practice to live it. But when you do, you'll begin to see miracles. Not always dramatic ones, but subtle, profound shifts that change everything. The burden of importance and the balance of energy. One of the most overlooked ways we block our desires is by placing too much importance on them. You might think that the more you want something, the faster it will come. That if you obsess over it, visualize it constantly, and make it your highest priority, you'll manifest it faster. But the opposite is often true. Why? Because excessive importance creates tension. It sends out an energy of desperation and imbalance. You're telling the universe, this thing matters more than anything. I need it to feel okay. And that very energy pushes it away. When something becomes too important, it becomes emotionally inflated. It's like pulling on a rubber band. The harder you stretch it, the more it resists. Your energy becomes rigid. Your perspective narrows. You lose your flexibility and flow. We do this all the time. We place a job, a relationship, or a financial goal on a pedestal. We believe that once we get that, we'll finally be happy, secure, validated. And by doing so, we separate ourselves from the natural flow of that thing coming into our lives. There are two main types of importance that throw us off balance: inner and outer. Inner importance is the pressure we place on ourselves. We think we must be perfect, admired, flawless. We equate our worth with how we're seen, how much we achieve, how well we perform. This creates fear of failure, imposter syndrome, and constant anxiety. Outer importance is when we glorify external things, money, relationships, status, believing that our happiness hinges on having them. This belief turns desires into obsessions. And obsession blocks manifestation. So how do we neutralize importance? By releasing attachment. By realizing that your life can still be full and meaningful, even without that specific outcome. By shifting your focus from need to preference. You prefer that opportunity. You would love that relationship. You are open to abundance. But you do not need it to feel whole. That shift in mindset creates energetic balance. And balance is what allows manifestation to unfold. Let's look at living the practice of surrender. Surrender is not a one-time event. It's a daily choice, a moment-by-moment awareness. It's the willingness to notice when you're gripping too tightly and to gently let go. Ask yourself, where in my life am I pushing too hard? What am I trying to force into place? What am I terrified to release, even though it's wearing me down? Sometimes, the thing we're most afraid to surrender is the very thing we need to let go of. Not because we'll lose it, but because in surrendering it, we make room for something better. Life responds to your energy more than your effort. When your energy is clear, relaxed, and aligned, things come easily. When it's tense, anxious, or obsessive, you block the very blessings you're asking for. Trust that the universe sees the full picture. Trust that delays are not denials. Trust that by letting go, you're not losing control, you're stepping into alignment. In conclusion, surrender is the door to flow. At first, surrender may feel scary, unfamiliar, even risky. But over time, you'll begin to see its magic. You'll notice that when you stop forcing, things start flowing. When you stop obsessing, clarity returns. When you stop controlling, peace takes its place. And when you let go, life steps in to guide you in ways you never imagined. This is not the end of your journey, it's the beginning of a new way of living. One rooted in trust, balance, and deep alignment with the rhythm of life. So today, breathe a little deeper. Loosen your grip. Let the pressure fall away. And allow life to meet you where you are, with grace, with ease, and with divine timing. Because sometimes, letting go is exactly what makes everything fall into place. We have come to the end of today's video. Thank you for watching to this point. I believe this content did resonate with you. Kindly like, subscribe, and share with many who need to redirect their energy for faster manifestation.